A story from the hills of West Virginia. Now, you need to know way, way back in the hill and holler country of West Virginia, there lived an old man whose name was Jack. And Jack was about the laziest man who ever lived upon this earth. He was so lazy, he never did a lick of work. He never planted a garden. He never harvested a crop. Why, he didn't even go hunting or fishing to get some food for himself. Well, he was often hungry. And on this particular night, which just happened to be Halloween night, he was very hungry. He could hear his belly just kind of growling and growling. And he wondered, where can I find some food? Where can I find some meat? Where can I find some flesh? And then he had an idea where he could find some flesh. And he walked out the door of his cabin. And down the road on a dark night with the wind blowing and ragged clouds just darting across the sky. Jack walked on and on and on until he came to the graveyard. That's right. He came to the graveyard. Now, you need to know, way back in those days, not everybody was buried in a coffin. Oh, no. Sometimes they just dug a grave right in the ground and laid a body right down into it and covered it back up with earth. And old Jack, he sort of cast about. He looked around and he found a freshly dug grave, you see. And he took a shovel and he shoveled away some of the dirt. And sure enough, he saw a big old toe, fresh toe poking through the ground. Somebody buried not long ago. And Jack, he was so hungry, he took his axe and whoa, he cut that toe off and he took that toe home and he boiled it up. He cooked it up and he chewed the flesh right off it. Old Jack said, you know, that's not bad for a toe. And then Jack went to sleep. But he woke up because he heard something. He heard a voice mumbling something outside. And the voice said, who's got my toe? Jack sat up in bed, and then he heard the door of his cabin open, and the voice got louder. Who's got my toe? And then Jack heard, as whoever that was, come up the stairs towards his bedroom, those creaky, cracky stairs. And then Jack watched as the doorknob of the door to his bedroom, it turned and the door opened, and there, standing in the doorway, was an old corpse with flesh just hanging off its bones. And one of the eyeballs was just draped down on the chin there, on the cheek, you see. And the voice said, who's got my... You do! And that's an old story from West Virginia. And those stories are sometimes called jump stories. And now you probably know why.